Hey guys, it's that guy with the picks here. It's a Sunday morning at about 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, to recap yesterday, Army was giving 10 points and they lost the game straight out. Ball State returned the opening kickoff, and I'm not making excuses for anything. I'm just stating the facts. Ball State returned the kickoff. Then Ball State created a turnover. Ball State threw the ball one time on that possession for 44 yards and another touchdown. And then Ball State got the ball back not too long after and scored again to make the score 21-0. And it was a lost cause from there. I mean, a complete lost cause. In college football, I'm 1-2. I lost last week with Troy. I lost this past week with Army. I don't want to say that maybe Saturdays aren't good for me, but college football has been subpar. Now, in the NFL, we're undefeated on the channel. Right now, the channel is at 9-2, which is still incredible. And this Sunday morning, I got a game for us. We have, you know what, I want to thank everybody that did like the video, share the video, that commented. Please continue to do that, because it does support the channel and allows us to continue to make content. And we all know in the gambling and betting world, if you can do anything above average, you're doing really well. And even with yesterday's loss, we are well above average. I mean, we're still sitting at 87%, which is awesome. Yeah, so now we got Kansas City traveling to Philadelphia. This line opened up at 6.5, and right now it's still sitting at 6.5. Now here's where it gets tricky, and the pages start telling me something. The money line opened up at minus 260 for Kansas City, meaning if you put 260 down, you get back 360. And right now it's currently at minus 320. Now, the line opened up at the beginning of the week at 6.5, and it still sits at the same 6.5. But the money line opened up at the beginning of the week at minus 260, and now the line is up to minus 320. Meaning KC is getting pounded with money. Boatloads of money is going on KC. I'm not always a fan of that, but today I have to be a fan of it. This total opened up at 54.5. It's still at 54.5. Both these teams are 1-2. We're talking about the AFC Championship winner last year. We're talking about the runner-up in the Super Bowl last year, and they come into the season right now sitting in at 1-2 with the same players on offense. Let me take that back. With the same skilled players on offense, and they added offensive linemen from last year, which even boosted their offense even more. And their defense, there was additions added to them from last year, which makes their defense better also. And we haven't seen a full package of that yet. The Chiefs, they played the Chargers last week, and the Chargers jumped on them. They jumped on them on a 14-0 lead early in the game, and as the Chiefs continued to fight back, the Chiefs ended up taking a 24-21 lead in the second half before losing that game 30-24. Mahomes in that game was definitely not Mahomes. Mahomes had 260-yard passings and 3 touchdowns. Now, if I stopped right there, that'd be Mahomes. He threw 2 interceptions. Like I say, that's not what we see from Patrick Mahomes. Clyde finally broke through with 100 yards on the ground, and Kelsey did his normal, 7 grabs for 104 yards. Tyreek Hill was double-teamed 75% of that game, and he still ended up with 5 catches for 56 yards. But he put a ball on the grass also. He fumbled also. Hardman had a touchdown, along with Clyde had a touchdown. Ian Fortson had a touchdown. 11 different wide receivers had targets. There was a total of 5 turnovers in the game by Kansas City. Any team that turns the ball over 5 times in a game shouldn't even be close at the final score. With all those turnovers, the Chiefs still found enough fight in them to make it respectable at a 30-24 final. And their defense only had 1 sack in that game. The Eagles, on the other hand, they took a beating last week at the hands of the Cowboys, 41-21. Hurts had 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He also led the running attack with 35 yards. The other 2 running backs, including Miles Sanders and Keith Gainwell, their total number of rushes were 3. Between the 2 running backs, they had 3 carries for 29 yards, that's all. Hurts hit 9 different wide receivers. Goddard led the way with 2 grabs for 66. Rager had 5 for 33. Zach Ertz 4 for 53 and a touchdown. And Ward had 1 grab for 15 yards and a touchdown also. On the defensive side, they had 4 sacks, 1 fumble that they ran in for a touchdown. So on the defensive side, it sounded like they had a okay game. When I tell you the final was 41-21, the Eagles got completely exploited in that game. To put it nicely, and I'm not biased to anybody. You know, when I talk football and I play football and I bet football, everything is done with my head. It's never done with my heart. If it was done with my heart, every penny that I had would go on the Steelers every single game. And I think we all know where I'd be if I put every single penny on the Steelers and I start thinking with my heart rather than my head. Jalen Hurts, to put it nicely, cannot be trusted. Period. The end. He cannot be trusted. He did have a good game against Atlanta. And like I told my buddy Debo at the beginning of the year, I said, and he has him on his fantasy team, I said, watch. I said, this probably will be his best game of the whole year. And that was in the first week against Atlanta. And still up to this time, that was his best game of the year. And I still think that'll be his best game of the year, going against a weak Atlanta defense that ran soft coverage and allowed him to run and pass whenever he wanted to. Other teams are already hip to it and are on to it. Sorry, Jalen. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Eagles' defense got completely exposed by the Cowboys. Philly had 13 penalties, 12 first downs, and just 53 total plays. The Dallas Cowboys, 74 total plays. And that was against the Cowboys' defense. That ain't no good. They're no good. Now they got KC coming to town that put up 437 total yards last week with 33 first downs and only punted 1 time, but had a handful of turnovers, which got them the L last week, which put them at 1-2. Now here, I see KC coming in angry with a chip on their shoulder, looking to take it out on someone, and unfortunately, they're going to Philly. Philly, it's about to get taken out on you. Sure, in this game, a turnover is possible, but I'm 100% sure that the whole week of practice, they all were walking around with the football with teammates trying to knock it out of their hands. The program style, for all my sports fans that watch sports movies, they were walking around with the ball like the movie Program. Yeah, and I'm sure they were aware when people were trying to strip the ball when they were walking around with it at practice, at home, wherever they went. People were trying to rip the ball out of KC's offensive hands. So their main focus, I'm sure, was not to put the ball on the grass. And we're talking about a KC offense that knows they can blow the doors off any other team. And today I see they will. I see big brother versus little brother here. And little brother says, let's go out back and let's figure out what's going on. And they do. And big brother comes back in the house fairly quick. And little brother comes back in quite some time later with some lumps on his face and a busted mouth. And we knew what was going to happen there. I see KC controlling and doing what they're supposed to do, getting back to the team that other teams fear them. I see KC getting it done in fashion. Take KC minus the 6.5. Enjoy the game. Enjoy KC's offense. And please remember, if you're watching this, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the subscription button so you get notified every time I drop a video, and share the video. And I tell you what else you need to do today is get back to getting that cash.